Art will capture the mind and the eye of anyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what country or planet you're from. You walk by my shit, you're going to be like, yo. I mean, I liked art class. I did take art class, but I was terrible. I couldn't draw. I couldn't draw a truck. I couldn't draw a car. I couldn't draw. You know, you start with the jar and they show you the tree and the fruit. Your base things that you can easily draw, shade in, and color. I was terrible at that too. I was just terrible at it. So my first taste of some artwork was just a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when I saw this spin painter on the internet spinning paint off of a canvas board on a drill gun. And I was like, wow, there's some pretty cool designs that are coming out from all these colors this guy's applying to this board. You know what I mean? I like to do something like that too. So I actually got some canvas boards, some paint, drill gun, and let me tell you something. It was a headache trying to set that up and get it set right to work and spin that canvas board. It was driving me nuts. And my work was looking okay because I was doing what he was doing. So, you know, and then I'm wondering why, you know, when I started to try to sell those boards, they weren't selling that much. You know what I mean? Like I'd sell a few here and I could sell a few there. But this guy on the internet is killing it. He's selling them left and right. So that was like the first time I took interest in doing my own artwork, is when I started spinning my own boards. Those are just the 5 I made last night. They had to dry. I had to put lacquer all over them. I even actually glossed my paintings, guys. When you do one of my paintings with the acrylic paint that I use, and I use acrylic, they say there's different types of paints that you can use that's a lot better. No, trust me. Go get the little round bottles that are like $2, the big bottles for $4 and shit. That's all you need, because it's not about what you're using, because the paint's going to stick to the board. It's what you put on it afterwards. You get a can of that good clear lacquer and a brush, and you just cover that bad boy up, and it will pull the color out and make it not look dull. It'll make it look nice and shiny and make it pop. Well, when I first started, I was basically copycatting what I was seeing, because I figured if it's working for him in Kansas City, it's going to work for me in Delaware. You know what I mean? I'm making boards out in the country in my boy's backyard, and we're running them to the local flea market on Fridays and Saturdays and setting up. And I'm moving a few pieces here and I'm moving a few pieces there. And I said, you know what, man, I'm going to try something different. I'm tired of just squirting the paint all on the canvas and spinning it. I bought a box fan. I cut the blades off, took the screen off of it, hooked it to a porta potty chair with duct tape. And I built a little like mechanism piece, like a little contraption in the center of my fan to hold my canvas boards. And then I just started spinning a different way, moving in with the paint from the sides, making swirls and circles. And my first series of boards, I called it the Circles Edition. And the Circles Edition boards look like this without the mask. You see how it's got the circle shapes? You know what I mean? So I started doing boards just like this without that mask. The paintings that I started to do with just squirting the paint on, I decided to do something a little different there too. Instead of squirting it all on in just big old globs and piles, I laid it out. I lined it. I would lay a few pieces, a few lines down, and then go ahead and just hit it and let it go. You know what I mean? Knowing that I know that center is here. So anything moving in this, it's all just going to move out. So when I just hit it with the lines, that's the effect. That's what it turns out. And you can hang it on your wall like that. You know what I mean? You'll find which one you like. You'll see things like, you'll see the eyes. You know what I mean? You'll see the eyes. You'll just see things. That's what I see. You know, until you just keep spinning it. Well, I don't know how I can even just answer that question because of the art. Like, if you look at it, like some people will look at the artwork, and when I look at it, let's just say I did this work and I looked at it. First thing I think of is them kabuki masks. I think of Chinese stuff, Japanese, Chinese. You know what I mean? And I look at them and I'm like, I think about them female professional wrestlers, that Susaki girl, and all them girls that wear them painted up looking masks when they come to the ring on TV. And that kind of inspired me too with the masks, you know, is when I saw that a few years ago when that Osaka girl came out from Japan at WrestleMania, she had this mask with all this paint on it. I'm like, yo, that's badass. And she sells them at the merchandise thing. And I'm like, so that's another reason why I did them. But I can't even answer that because it's nightmarish. I think it's a nightmare, but it's a cool looking nightmare. It's like somebody's bad dream right there. You know what I mean? But so cool looking with the way the colors turned out, man. It's like, it reminds me of space. Like exploding stars and planets. It's weird. There is none. There's not even a name. I know an artist puts a name and a story to every one of their paintings. Apparently, that's what they do. I haven't figured that out yet, except for the Circles edition. I just called it my Circles edition. I really couldn't think of anything else to name them. I just put it down, and then I hold that paint in my hands, and I think about how it would look when I apply it, whether it's spinning or it's flat. And I haven't developed that part of naming and putting a story to my artwork, because this is different compared to an oil painting. Somebody does an oil painting and they put it up there, mountain views, you know what I mean, or tropical waves, you know what I mean, or lost in paradise, you know what I mean. And what can I say about this? Happy nightmare? I mean, you really look at it, man. You know what I mean? My facial boards, I mean, that's pretty scary right there. You know what I mean? If you put some LED light on this, you know what I mean? If you change a light colors to this, all right? I did this once with the ring lights. You know, you got the ring lights that have different colors and they change different colors. Turn one of them ring lights on and set it up in front of one of my paintings and watch what you see. You'll lose your mind, man. You'll be like telling all your friends, yo, those paintings are pretty good on the wall, don't they? Check this out. Wait till I turn on this light. I mean, for a rookie, I'm a rookie at this. I'm speaking like I'm 20 years in this. You know what I mean? But I just started this in 2020. No, wait a minute. 2018. 18 is when I first started spinning boards back in Delaware before I left, and I came back out. I went on a carnival run, and I tried to get them to put me up in a little 10 by 10 on a carnival run. State fairs, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't back me. They said, man, just go get your own pop-up tent and just rent a spot from us.
That's because they thought you were
They know I'm good. They know I'm good. They were like, you know, you're better off just renting your own spot. We'll charge you, $800 for the whole week for that little 12 by 12 spot you got right there. They don't care. They're thinking he ain't gonna make $800 selling them boards. But it's the kids. It's my 2-fan setup where the kids can come up and they can just keep on spinning. And my prices are there. I gotta find somebody that believes in me and believes in this, and we can hit the road. That was just what I call that water ripple effect. You know what I mean? This was done with a metal comb. I took a metal comb and just laid it in the middle right to here and held it like that while it spun. And while it spun around, it looked like that dropping a rock in the water ripple effect. And that's how it turned out right there, man. She's pretty badass. I'm colorblind.
Wow.
100%. I went to a doctor, and he put a book of spots on paper. He said, can you see the number in there? And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, no, I don't see no number in there. He said, you don't see no letters and no numbers? I'm like, no. And he slid this piece of red paper over, like clear plastic piece of paper, over top of them dots. What was there? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I couldn't see it, right? So they determined, hey, he's colorblind. They ran a bunch of them on me, and I couldn't see none of them until they slid that paper over it. So they knew I was colorblind. I couldn't identify the colors or the numbers that's in the dots. Couldn't see it. So, but I know my basics: red, white, blue, green, orange, purple, silver, gold, black, yellow, gray, green. But then you got all the other crazy shit: lime green, pine green. You know what I mean? So I just look at the bottle, and whatever it says, I just throw it on the canvas. This is very therapeutic. Like, if you have a stressful day and you go home, there's a certain hobby you like to do when you go home. You might like going out in your backyard and just putting some balls around in the backyard. You know what I mean? You might go ride your bike or go exercise to burn off some steam. Me, when I get depressed or I get upset about something, I like to go make a couple boards. And when I look at them, I'm just so amazed. Like when it's spinning real fast, you can't even see what it looks like. It just looks like a whole blob of different colors until it stops. And then when it stops, I get goosebumps and I feel good. I'm like, yeah, you know what? No matter how bad today was, this is beautiful right here. It's art. I didn't think I could ever do something like this. You know what I mean? I want 4 or 5 other people that I know to just go ahead and do a few of them. Balance and spontaneity, right? Or like being spontaneous.
Yeah.
Like what pops me to go out and throw something? Do I sit here and think of something? Oh, I gotta go out and do this.
Right. Or
No.
do you just?
I go buy 5 boards or 10 from Michael's, and I come back. I go pick out masks, blue ones, white ones, pink ones, yellow ones. Normally I grab those colors because I want to add those colors to the board, and a few other colors to it. But no, I just get excited because I really don't know if it's going to turn out the way I've got it visualized in my mind, and it does. It's another water ripple effect. I mean, to me, I see Chicago Bulls. I see, the red, the black, the white. I mean, they were red, black, and white. Inspired Michael Jordan colors, you know what I mean? The first Nike, you know what I mean? The Nike, the first Jordan 1, you know what I mean? So when you look at it and you don't need to do nothing else to it. Like, if you put the colors on it that you have in your mind, or you're trying to match the mask colors and add extra, because you don't want to, I stay away from a lot of the gold and silver. I only like to throw gold and silver in every now and then on stuff because it's the most expensive paint. It's $5 or $6 for the gold and silver that I like to buy because I like to get it with the flake in it. So when it dries, it's all glittered out. You know what I mean? I don't do too many of them. I'll let the kids do that. And we'll talk about the kids' involvement here in a little bit. I'll tell you how I like to get them involved if I can have the right setup. When I've got the machine, I just need the box to put it in, and I got kids spinning boards.
Okay.
Ching.
Like a class? You have a
Right
class
there
out
where
the
I'm
street?
selling. As the tourists are walking, if they've got kids with them, they're 9, 10, or 12 years old. If they stop and they see my setup right there, and my advertisement sign says, kids can spin boards, little 8x10s for $5. You know what I mean? They can squirt the paint on themselves, turn it on, turn it off, pull it off, walk home with it in 2 minutes. It's dry. I mean, they don't even, and I can lacquer it for them too. If you want to hang out for a minute, I'll throw some lacquer on it. She'll dry. Take her home with you. It's yours. So, I've just got to get that equipment. I don't have it yet. This is my mother's favorite one right here. And I told her I would send it to her. She just loves this one. She just loved the colors that I put on this one. And I can't even tell you what they were because I'm colorblind. I just know they were they were a different bottle. It was a different type of paint. They were $3.50 for a small 2.5 ounce bottle. You know what I mean? This one came out perfect. She loves it. I think success would be me sitting back a couple years from now. I'm going to do the 5-year plan with this. Find galleries where I can hang my artwork on the wall. Put a price tag on my artwork. They get a commission off of my artwork. Or I find a gallery where I rent the wall space. So I make a monthly payment to them every month to keep my artwork on their walls. It depends on the guy that owns the place. If he's like, yeah, I'll rent you 5 feet by 9 feet. You know what I mean? Like from my ceiling down, you can have this, like this section here. Hell, I can hang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can hang a bunch of boards. You know what I mean? But I would probably spread it out a little bit. 1, 2, center. I'd make a shape. You know what I mean? I've even thought about putting 4 facial boards together, connect all 4 of them, sell it as one piece. So
Like
instead of
top
putting,
bar.
yes,
That's
but
top
instead
bar.
of putting 4 boards together, I can do 4 faces on that board right there, on that big boy in that corner by that door. I buy one of them, I can put 4 masks on there and spin off some wild looking shit off of that, but my spinner won't support that weight. I have to do that on something with a stronger motor. Right now the fan, these 16 by 20s, it's all that fan can handle. You know what I mean? I have to give it a little jump start when I turn the button on. Touch the board and get it going a little bit so it just jumps right in. If not, it's hard on that little motor to get it going and get it fast. So I help it out when I turn it on. And that's why that little bad boy lasts out there. Even though it's a $20 fan. That $20 fan is what I'm using to make these masterpieces. It's wild, ain't it? Done. I'm only 56 years old. I see 20 years of doing this. My mom said I'd be a millionaire by the time I'm 60. I got 4 more years to go. This could be what does it one day. You never know.